Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today, I'm going to be doing my review of, and I believe I'm pronouncing this right, the Belualyth figure by Mythic Legends. Now, I've seen a lot of these figures around, like when I go to cons and other such events, or when I'm looking online for action figures. They are by the Four Horsemen, and I really do like the Four Horsemen. I like a lot of their figures that they make and stuff. They're very well detailed and what have you. So I was actually curious about this line. So this would be the first figure that I would pick up in this line just to see what it's like. And she looks really cool in packaging. So I'm really excited to see what she's like out of packaging. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. You really do help this channel grow. And for anybody who hasn't subscribed and does like this video, then I please ask that you subscribe as well and check out my Conan and other fantasies playlists as well. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, so first off, we're going to look at her in packaging. Now, I do like the packaging for her. It's kind of simple, so you just have this big open window. You see her, all her accessories, Mythic Legends. Now, you do have some art behind her that looks really cool. It's probably going to be hard to see um, right now with how the lights are looking on it and glare off of the plastic. But I might look into that more when we actually do the review of the actual figure. So spin it around to this side. Get this cool symbol here. I believe that's a symbol of the necromancers in this world. So that looks really neat. I do like that. Come around this way. You get this really nice art. I love this artwork right here. This looks really cool. These look to be all the necromancer style figures. A little bit of history about the world that they all live in, which is really nice. I like that. All right, spin it around this way. You get a profile picture of the figure. This is her name, and this is a little bit of backstory on this character, which I really do like. Bring it around here. So even though there isn't a lot to the packaging, it's still really cool packaging. I do like it. So with that being said, let's open her up and see what she's about. All right, so here she is out of packaging. She's a pretty interesting looking figure. I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing her finer details. But before we get into that, I want to get into her points of articulation. So first off, her head does move. All right, you got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You have an elbow joint, and you do have a wrist joint. All right, get this other arm up. She does have a joint underneath the breast, and she does have a hip joint. All right, so you get a pretty well range of movement in the upper body. Spin her around this way. She does have a thigh joint with a swivel. Okay, you get a knee joint, and you also have an ankle joint. So all her leg joints move very well as the upper body. So now let's start looking into some of her finer details. So first off, I like the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks really cool. It's eerie. She got these little blemishes there and what have you. Hopefully she don't try to escape. All right. Now I'm going to take her hair off because I want to take a good look at this body armor on her. So we're going to remove that. So I like the design to this body armor. That looks really cool. They definitely put some work into that. And same with her belt here. So she has all these little skulls. She has an arm hanging off here, a whip. Now, unfortunately, they don't come with an alternate whip that she can hold. That is just, there to look nice on her belt, which is kind of a shame. It probably would have been cool if she would have actually had a whip, for her hands. But this skirt here or cloth actually has lining in it. It has a I forget what it's called, the bendable lining in the skirt so it could be moved and twisted around however you want it. So that's pretty cool. If we lift this up, you can see she has pretty much pants underneath, which are really nice. And I like the design of this armor, her leg armor. So we'll bring it around this way. That looks really nice. The same with this part of her armor. They put all this embroidering in there, which looks really nice. I do like that. You bring this arm back down. All right. You can look and see all the detail in the armor here. That looks really nice. I do like that a lot. All right. Spin her around here. Looks like she has the ability for couple different attachments. So she has these two spots there. All right. And then she has this hole here that's supposed to be like a bone piece that will hold her bird cage. And I'll show you that when we start getting into the accessories. She has a couple of pouches here. All right. Oops. Bring her back. Get her centered again. Got her on this side. Like I said earlier, she has this whip here. And the same armor as she did on the other side. I'm going to bring this arm down. All right, so she has this little gauntlet here that looks really cool. And back around to the front. So she has a lot of cool detail. Wiring frame. That's what this is inside here. So she has this cool wire frame in there. All right. So that's really neat. It looks like they put a lot of work into her. And let's look at this face sculpt a little bit closer now that we got the hair out of the way. All right. So you get all these blemishes in here and stuff that look really neat. I think they did a lot of good work with the overall look to this figure. I'm liking how she looks. So now we're going to look at her accessories. Now, first off, I want to look at the backdrop from the box because we couldn't see it that well because her and how the shell looked. But I want to bring this up because this looks really cool. I like that. That looks really neat. Definitely be a good display piece. So if you want to like display her with that behind her, that would look really neat. I do like how that looks. All right. So now we're going to start looking at the stuff that's for her. So she has an alternate head. And this head looks pretty cool. I like the look without the nose. You know, it gives her a more of a zombie dead look. Almost like a corpse bride kind of look to her. So I do like that. All right, here's the hair that we did take off of her earlier. I can actually hold it. She has another piece of hair too, which I don't see too much of the difference. I think it has a more of a sway to it. All right. She has a couple alternate hands. So she has this hand here. All right. She has an open hand. All right. Another open hand without the glove. All right. And then she has like this semi-open hand. Now I like the detail to these hands. They look really nice. Not even just so much the nails, but it looks like they put like some sort of wash on it to give it a little bit of a darker, duller look. So I do like that look to them. All right. She has this bone piece that's going to connect onto her back for the cage. And speaking of the cage, she has this cage here that's a bird cage. Well, you would think it's a bird, but you open it up. There's actually a snake in there, which is pretty cool, like a skeletal snake. So I do like that. That's pretty neat how they're doing that. Close this back up. All right. She also has this like knife axe looking thing that looks pretty neat, made out of bone. Everything about her is made out of bone and what have you, because she's definitely a necromancer without any question or a doubt. All right. She has like this boned bird, probably like a falcon or something, that looks like it's designed to mount onto her arm. So that looks pretty cool. I do like that. That's pretty neat. All right, she has this shoulder piece here. That's a skull from some sort of critter. So I like that as well. And last but not least, I saved the best one for the last. Is this monstrosity here? We're actually going to set him up on here because he deserves a rotation. I don't know what they were thinking of with this thing. It just looks cool. I love the overall look to it. So it kind of has like a snake head on its tail, got a goat skull. This one might be some sort of cat skull. And just the detail to this thing is really, really cool. Like you got these straps down here that go around the ribs. You got the armor, and even that has like bones on it and what have you. All right. Even the snake part has little collars going up the snake spine, which is pretty neat. And she also has a leash made of real chain. I always love when they do things out of real chain. That's really neat. So she has a lot of really cool stuff to her. I like the overall look to this thing. Now, let's see what moves on here, what doesn't. So this head does move. Get some back and forth movement. Same with this head and the cat head. Jaws do not open, but don't really need to be. The front legs do move. The same with the back ones also move. So this does get some pretty cool points of articulation. But like I said, even if it really didn't, it's just a neat looking monster. I love how this thing looks. So we're going to put you back over here and start getting into her accessories and what have you. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this shoulder piece back on her here. All right. So this should just slide up here. Oops. Would help if I actually put it on right. Shoot. It goes. Oh. Okay, it goes like this. No. Oh, I see. Okay. Up over the head. Right, so we're gonna have to take this head off to get that on there. All right. There we go. Now we're going to put the head back on. All right. So now we got this shoulder mounted piece on her that looks really neat. I do like that a lot. Come around to her back here. This thing comes on like this. All right. So that sits like that. We already saw this hair on her, so we're going to use the other hair. This looks, like I said, this looks more like a hair piece that would like be in the way of everything, to be honest with you. All right. Get that on her. So there you go. You got this style of hair on her now, which actually don't look bad. I like it. It looks like this one you can see a little bit more of the head and face sculpt. So I do like that, be honest with you. All right, next off, let's get this weapon in her hand. Let's see how well this fits in this hand. All right. So that weapon fits pretty well in this hand. No issues with any of that. All right. Let's swap our hands out while we're here. So we got this hand here. All right. No issues with that one. All right. And then you got your gloved hand here. All right. So the glove hand fits there nicely. No issues with that. See if this will fit in that hand. Yeah. Now her fingers move pretty well. So it does make it easy to get the weapon in her hand with no issues. So all the hands on this side fit very well on her. Now we're going to look at the other side. We're going to take this gloved hand off. We got our weapon hand here. Okay, let's see how well this fits in her hand here. Should be pretty easy. If it was easy in the other two hands, it shouldn't be an issue there. Yeah. So it fits well in this hand. All right. And then she has this hand here without the glove. All right. So all of that worked very well with her. I don't have any issues with any of that. The bird, I guess, is meant to sit on this side. So this arm gauntlet, I guess, comes off. No, that's her arm. All right. So, does this fit over that? Yes, it does. Okay. So the bird actually fits over that piece. It's a little bit tight, but it does work. All right. So now you got the bird on her. And then this hooks up here, just like that. So now you got her snake. And then you get, this bastard of creation here. Looks like something that Herbert West would create. So she has that thing there. So all of these critters and everything work very well with her. Now the last thing we're going to do is the head. Now it looks like we're already going to have issues with this head. We're going to move this dog out of the way. This. So let's try to pop this head off again. So what's happening is the whole neck is coming off, which isn't a major issue. I've seen this before. So what I'm going to do, actually this might just twist off of here. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so that popped off pretty easily. I almost thought I was going to have to use hot water on it, but it looks like we didn't have to do that. And yeah, that's on there. All right, so I thought we were going to have to use hot water, but we didn't have to. Get the bird out of the way. Let's get a good look at this head too. I like the detail to this head. That looks really, really cool. Now, I don't know what head I like better because they're both pretty neat looking. And then let's get this hair on her. Boom. So now you got the more evil skeleton looking head on her. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts with this figure. So first off, all her joints move very well. The same with her beast. I don't have any issues with any of her joints. All her accessory and extra body parts swap out very well. I didn't have any problems putting on any of the animals or what have you, or her gear, or her head swaps, hair swaps, hands, etc. So everything swaps out very well with her. And she's a very cool looking figure. I like the overall look to her. I think they put some really nice detail in her, really nice sculpting and paint job to her overall. So would I recommend this figure? Absolutely. There's a sense of style to her that's really cool. Like you could see her story just by looking at the figure. I mean, yes, she does come with a little background, but you could see that she's some sort of master of necromancing with animals and stuff, because you got the bird here, this monstrosity, the snake in there. So little bones and all on her outfit there. So she's a really, really cool looking character. I love her overall look, and I think she would look great with any kind of like medieval, style fantasy action figures and what have you, or even on her own. She's just a really cool looking figure, and I'd highly recommend her. So, with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Conan and fantasy playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.